إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نضرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون.
Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us that all the prophets were shepherds, and they all used to be shepherds of sheep. They never shepherded camels. It's interesting because the Arabs were shepherds of what? Of camels. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was an Arab, like he's telling us he never shepherded. He was never a shepherd of camels, rather he was a shepherd of sheep. Why is that relevant? So what we understand from this is that the reason why the prophets were shepherds of sheep was because through the sheep they would learn certain characteristics. Because the sheep are very fragile, very soft, very miskeen. If you're too tough with a sheep, the sheep's going to run away and cry like a little sheep. Or it's going to bat like a sheep. That was a joke. I have to laugh at my jokes. I came all the way from London. Good, I like that. So the sheep is soft. So then when you're spending time with the sheep, what's going to happen to you? You're going to become soft as well, because you know, to deal with this animal, I can't be tough and rough with it. I've got to be soft and gentle and patient with the sheep. And it's going to make me patient, it's going to make me soft, it's going to make me gentle, right? Like in the Arabs that were shepherds of camels, a camel is a very arrogant animal. It's a very tough animal. So for you to be a shepherd of that camel, you need to also be tough. You can't sleep on a camel will sleep on you. Literally. The camel will not have it. That's the way the camel is. So when you're with a camel, you've got to be tough and grab it and pull it and be rough with it. But that makes you rough. That makes you tough. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted His prophets to be soft, to be merciful, to be gentle, to be patient. So Allah made them shepherds of sheep. So what do you learn from that? You become affected. You become influenced by what? The animals. Forget the humans. The animals that are around you will influence you. So then what if there's a human being that's a walking, talking person trying to convince you, trying to persuade you to be on what they're on? The animal doesn't talk, yet it has an effect on you. Not just that, the place where you live has an effect on you. And this is a bit of sociology now. If you observe the lands in which the people live, you see that those people are affected by the places in which they live. For example, let's go to the Arabs again. Whenever people go to the Arab world, they always say, oh, Arabs are just so tough and raw and rugged and rude and abrupt and straight. They might come across like that, yeah. But you know why? Look at the terrain in which they live. They live in a very, very tough environment. They live in the sand, in the desert. Constantly just, heat is beating down on them every day. They become tough like that. Living in the desert is not easy. Living in the desert is hard. Every now and again a sandstorm just comes, takes you. People will be going on a journey from one city to another city and you will not make it. You might die. You run out of food, you run out of water. You might have food and water, but your camel runs away when you go take a nap by the tree. Next thing you know, the camel's gone. Everything was, all your supplies were on the camel. No water, no drink for days. You're going to die now. So Arabs are in a very tough and rough place. It's not just the animals that are around them, but the land on which they are makes them tough. But have you gone to Malaysia? Malaysia, if you see the people, they're so nice. They're so nice that sometimes you might feel like it's a bit too nice, bro. Like, you're just always smiling at me. And you know, we would say things like that because we're from London where everyone just screw faces each other. Or I think it's like that in the UK, even the people outside of London, like you guys at London are a lot more friendlier than us. I can actually see that, by the way. Because, I don't know, you guys are actually smiling at me. In London, in the crowd, it's not like that. Everyone's just like this. You know why that is again? It's because in London, people are surrounded by city life, and, you know, money and office and 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? When we come out here, we actually see sheep. We see livestock. You know, you've got a bit more like, you know, I see grass, I see earth, soil, it's soft. So it has an effect on you. Coming back to the Malaysians are very soft people, very friendly people. And if you look, the environment is like that. They live in a land which always rain is coming down and all these beautiful fresh crops are coming out of it. These beautiful flowers are coming out of it. So even the land on which they walk on is soft, it's fertile, it's beautiful, it's tender. Right? So then they also become tender people. And that's the land. That land has an effect on you. The animals have an effect on you. Then of course it goes without saying, min bab al-awla, it's more befitting to say that the people that you are with, they have an effect on you. Right? They have an effect on you. Like for example, a man, he wants to get married to a woman. The Prophet ﷺ said, تزوج الولود الودود. Or كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, marry a woman who's very endearing. Like she just is going to make you fall in love with her. She's so soft and gentle and always doing all these little sweet things that make you love her. Marry that kind of a girl. And one who likes to have lots of children. She's childbearing. She's going to have lots of kids. So Sheikh Muhammad ibn Sana'ani rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was explaining this hadith in Subr al-Salam, which is an explanation of Bulugh Maram, he mentioned, how would you know if this woman is like that? Because you can't go take her out on a date. Can you take her on a date? Talking to you, bro. Can you take her on a date? You don't know. You can't take her on a date, right? Can you take her on a date? That's haram. You can't be like, listen, babes, let's go. Let me see how, endearing you are. You can't do that. So then how are you supposed to know if she's going to be endearing? She's going to be wadula. How do you know? He said, look at the mum. The Sheikh said, when you go to the marriage meeting and you see the mum and the dad, look at the mum. If the mum is like, slapping the dad around the face, "Hey, shut up," then this woman is going to be like, subhanallah. That's her mum, she's going to have some of those traits. Does that make sense? But if you see the mum, she's there like, taking care of her husband. How you doing? Just taking care of her husband. You see that's the environment. Then the daughter's going to be like that. Why? Because you're influenced by the people that you're with. You're influenced by your surroundings. Right? Right? Another example, actually no, I'm not going to give that example. Sometimes we go off on too many tangents. But keeping it to the, I think you guys get the point, right? Okay, then on top of all of that, the clearest evidence is what the Prophet ﷺ himself said. الرجل على دين خليله. A man is upon the religion of his friend. You and your friend are going to be the same. Can't help it. You can't help it. Then look what the Prophet ﷺ said after that. He said, فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحَدُكُمْ. Then make sure each and every single one of you examines, observes, and analyzes مَنْ يُخَالِلْ, who he makes best friends with. So who's your best friend? Who? Awal. Where is he? Is he here? But you gave him a shout out, so he must be a good friend. And you just, because there's a rhetorical question, you just threw it out on Al-Malik, which means he must mean something to you. May Allah keep you guys close for the sake of Allah forever. MashaAllah. So the point is, you have to observe this, my brothers and my sisters. Okay? Now some of you pay attention now. Your friends, maybe in real life, are okay. Some of you got good friends in real life. Or maybe they're not bad, but they're alright. But online, you know, got some evil friends. How do you have a friend online? I'm not talking necessarily about who you follow on Twitter and Instagram and who your friends are on Facebook. I'm talking about the people who you engage with on a day-to-day basis. You might be subscribed to some YouTube channels, some vloggers. You watch these vloggers. You live with them. You will live with them through these vlogs. You know so much about them. If they were to see you right now, you'd be able to tell them, oh, remember when you were there 2 years ago and you did this and that happened and this, that and the other. And he wasn't there with you physically, but he was there with you through the vlog. Or she was there with you through the vlog. These people, they affect you. You've befriended those people. And I can see that because so many of our sisters, right, have totally thrown the concept of hijab, the true hijab, out the window. Okay? Makeup. They wear makeup with hijab. That doesn't make any sense. The whole point of hijab was cover your beauty, right? To cover your beauty. And then there you're wearing makeup and you're showing your beauty to the masses. That's a problem. That goes against hijab. But where did you learn this from? Tina Tokyo and Habiba de Silva. See? They're laughing because they know. Right? They're laughing and they know. And then afterwards, the snaky ones amongst them are going to go and tweet. And be like, oh, this is what they were saying about you in the conference. The reality of the matter is that you live with them, sisters. It's not a funny thing. Pay attention. You live with these people through your phones. You live with them through your social media. And they have an effect on you. I remember the first time I ever met my teacher, Ustad Abdurrahman. The first meeting I ever had with him. And he mentioned something interesting. He said, I don't meet people. I don't hang out. He said, I don't go out and meet people. I don't have friends. He said, because for me, people are boring. Because the people that are around on the face of the planet today, they are boring. They don't, make me feel, they don't stimulate me. He said, for me, my friends are the books. I read books all the time. Books of scholars. And he said, I live with those scholars. He said, my friend's Ibn Taymiyyah. He said, I live with Ibn Taymiyyah every day. Every day I pull out his book from my books, I read. He goes, my friend Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, I live with him. Imam Ahmed, Imam al-Shafi'i, he's my friend. He said, I live with him every day. And for those of you who know who Ustad Abdurrahman is, you'll see, very few people do you come across who are the way they're described in the books in real life. Now you hear stories of this, what the Salaf were like, this what the Salaf were like. They used to read this much Quran a day. They used to read this much Quran, in Ramadan. They do this much dhikr, they do this, they do that. They're able to read this many books in a night. Now you read these stories, but you don't see nothing like that in real life. Now who's heard statements of the Salaf where they used to read they used to read the whole Quran once in a day? But I don't know if you heard that. They would read the whole of the Quran once a day in Ramadan. But I don't know if you heard them kind of statements. We have, right? Ustad Abdurrahman reads the Quran once a day in Ramadan. He's my teacher, right? He reads the Quran once a day in Ramadan. He finishes it like that. Other than that, every 3 days he will finish the Quran. Outside Ramadan, every 3 days he'll finish it. You know how you hear stories of the Salaf and they're always doing dhikr. You're having a conversation with them, and as you're having a conversation with them, they're doing dhikr. So I'm chatting to him and I'm like, Ustad, I have a question, and as I'm talking, he's just there. And he's trying to hide his face so you don't see. He's trying to hide his face so you don't see because he wants to be sincere. He reads. I remember one time he had a debate. In 4 days, he read 80 volumes. 80 fat volumes. Do you guys know a place called Rawdatul Jannah in Medina? It's a specific part of the Masjid which is going to be in Jannah. It's a part of the Masjid between the Prophet ﷺ's pulpit and the house of Aisha radiallahu anha. And it's going to be in Jannah. And it's got virtues, right? If you go there and you do an action, the action will be a means of taking you to Jannah, inshallah. It's a very virtuous place. When you go there, it's so hard to even get inside, let alone to stay there for a long period of time. You get toughed. But like when we hear stories of Imam al-Bukhari, rahimahullah ta'ala, Imam al-Bukhari, he wrote his Tarikh al-Kabir. He's got a book, Tarikh al-Kabir, which is the big history. It's called the big history. He wrote the whole book in that section. You think, how did he do that? He literally sat there and he wrote volumes, all these volumes, Tarikh al-Kabir. He just finished it there. And Ustad Abdurrahman, when he went to Umrah in Ramadan, 2-3 years ago, I remember he told us, in the last 10 nights, he spent the whole time, or most of the time, in that area, that blessed part of the Masjid, and he read all of Sunan Abi Dawud. Not only that, he explained all of it himself. He just wrote his own explanation to it, in the Masjid. And it's strange, you think, how did he do this? How did he produce this? Like, I I know, I try study, I try memorize, I try so hard. And I'm not even, for me, I'm like, I can't even imagine how I'll be able to get to that level. And I realized, you know, one of the reasons why it is, because we think to ourselves, it was only those generations that could produce these kind of things. The reason he's able to produce these things is because even though he's not living with them physically, he lives with them through their books. So for him, his level, his standard is not mine and your level, or the level and standards of people that are graduating of Medina University today. His level is the level of people who are graduating from Madrasatul Umariyah, which is a madrasa in Damascus. A madrasa from where Imam Nawawi and Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Qayyim, Ibn Kathir, all those scholars came through it. He's living with them. So his standard is what they produce. So obviously his levels are going to be up, his levels are going to be higher. Does that make sense? That makes sense. So for me and you, we live with Adam Saleh. That's who you live with. Or these stupid meme pages on Instagram. You follow these mad people. These people, you spend more time with them than your best friend. Your best friend, you are with him less than you are with these figures online and these social media influencers. And why the hell do you think they're called social media influencers? Because they're influencing you. Even the kuffar, they understand it. You will be on the religion of those who you follow. Those who you're with, you're going to be on them. And yeah, it's depressing. When you know a brother who's practicing, he wants to come to the deen. A sister, she's practicing. She's wearing hijab, jilbab, niqab, all these things. But you know what? If you pull out her Instagram right now, it's dangerous. And this is a challenge. This is a challenge. Which one of you is confident? They could bring me your Instagram right now. Let me go through it and not find anything mad on there. 100%. I will look at who you follow. Who you following? And that will lead you. When you follow certain people, you like certain things. If I go through your like history, some of you been liking some dubious things, bro. If I go through your DMs. Furthermore, if I go through your explore page, don't think I don't know Instagram has an algorithm. So when certain things pop up on your explore page, it's only because you've been creeping up on certain things, searching for certain things. So if you're bad and you're brave and you think you're clean, bring me your Instagram. Right now, let's put it on blast. But you won't. The reality of the matter is because you've got skeletons in your closet. Why? Because Instagram's a dark and dirty place. Your Snapchat's a dark and dirty place. Your YouTube history's a dark and dirty place. You were an innocent person though. You don't even live around haram like that. You ain't even got access to that kind of filth. So you shouldn't be on what you're on, but it's because you're following these people online. You're searching for them online. That's why you're the same as a person who was in a club. Only difference is that you got what he gets in a club on your phone. Sometimes you get worse on your phone than what he gets in a club. So make sure you understand. Al-rajulu ala dini khalilihi. A man is upon the religion of his or her friend. Don't forget that. Always remember. You are as good as your friends. The Arabs would say, don't show me or tell me who this man is. Take me to his friends and I'll tell you who he is. When you want to marry someone, what do? You go and see who the person's friends are. What's his friends like? What's her friends like? What's their crowd? That's who the person is. Because you don't roll with someone except that you have something in similarity with them. So what is it about this person that you're so close with? Either in real life or on your phone, through your social media or your YouTube. What is it about this sinner, this fajr, this criminal, this person who Allah is angry with, that you're following, that you're liking, that you're trying to roll with? What is it about you that's so evil that makes you want to follow them? Because you don't follow them unless there's something similar between the two of you. That's why the Prophet said, فَلْيَنْظُرْ. Examine. Analyze. أَحَدُكُمْ. You all, each and every single one of you. مَنْ يُخَالِدْ. Who is your friend? Because this friendship thing's not a joke. In our religion, friendships make you and break you. Let's take the best example. Let's take the best example. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who is he buried next to? Abu Bakr and Umar. Abu Bakr? Good. Who are the greatest from this ummah after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Abu Bakr and Umar. Who from the companions are the ones that we're constantly mentioning when we talk about the seerah and the stories? Who is it? Abu Bakr and Umar. Now, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu narrated, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he would come in with Abu Bakr and Umar. When he would leave, Abu Bakr and Umar. He would do this, Abu Bakr and Umar. He would go there, Abu Bakr and Umar were with him. Those were his best friends. That relationship that Abu Bakr and Umar had with the greatest man is what led them to being the greatest men in this ummah after him. It was the friendship of Abu Bakr to the Prophet. Nothing else. The closest that Abu Bakr had to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that led him to be, in the end, who he was. That friendship. But like now, if you befriend a criminal, that criminal will take you to the hellfire. The same way the Prophet's friendship to Abu Bakr took Abu Bakr to Jannah, it's going to take you to Jannah. Your friendship with a criminal will take you to the hellfire. And I'll give you an example. There was a man called Uqbah ibn Abi Mu'ayt. Uqbah ibn Abi Mu'ayt. He was a noble man from the Quraysh. And one day he had a walima, he had a dinner party. And he invited the heads of Quraysh, and from them he invited the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I'm not going to eat from your food until you accept that there is no deity worthy to be worshipped in truth except Allah. And that I, Muhammad, am his messenger. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I'm not going to eat your food till then. So the man, he felt an aib. He felt this is strange. Like, I've got a guest who's coming over. And he's refusing to eat my food. And I didn't want to be a bad host. So he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And he became a Muslim. He became a Muslim. Now, when he left, Ubay ibn Khalaf, who was another man from the heads of Quraysh, he heard about what he done. He said, yo, you became a Muslim? You joined Muhammad? You left us? You left us? He told him, listen, I'm not going to be pleased with you until you go back to Muhammad and you spit on his face and you step on his neck. I'm not going to be happy with you till you go back and you do that. The man said, listen, no, I take it back. I'm not a Muslim no more. He said, no. He said, I don't care. You told me you're not a Muslim, it means nothing to me. Go back, spit on his face and step on his neck. So, the man, he went back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he spat on the Prophet's face. Again, Allah protected the Prophet's face from his spit. The spit, when he spat it out, it came back onto him. And when it landed on his cheeks, it burnt his face. And the marks and the scars of the burns were left on his face to the day that he died. He was killed in the Battle of Badr. This person had a friend. Uqbah, this man, had a friend. Abu Bakr had a friend. Abu Bakr's friend convinced him, influenced him towards Al-Jannah. Uqbah had a friend and he influenced him to hellfire. What's your friend influencing you to? Your friend is either influencing you towards Allah or he's influencing you away from Allah. Do you understand? So it's important that you observe this. Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, He mentioned the best of friends are the ones who say, Ta'al, they say, come. Let's fast. قبل النموت, before we die. And the best of friends, and the worst of friends are the ones who say, come, let's eat and drink and enjoy ourselves before we die. And this is how you know if your friend is a good friend. And if you need to cut them off today or keep them. This statement of Abu Darda radiyallahu anh, it is the defining line. It's the fasil, it's the thing that separates it for you. Because some of you might be saying there thinking, my friend ain't that bad, like my friend ain't no drug dealer and whatnot. Sure, my friend might do this, that and the other, but my friend's alright at the end of the day. It's not on some mad thing. But this is what's gonna be the dividing factor. Does your friend tell you, let's fast? Does your friend tell you, let's pray? Does your friend tell you, let's go seek knowledge? Does your friend tell you, fear Allah? Does your friend tell you, respect your parents? Does your friend make you a better slave to Allah? Does your friend make you a better Muslim? If so, that's the best of friends. And Allah has blessed you with a friend like that. And you are a person who should be grateful for that friendship. And make sure you reciprocate that friendship. And be grateful to Allah so He can strengthen that friendship for you. Ameen. But if your friend, all he ever says, he doesn't tell you about sins. He doesn't tell you about sins. He doesn't tell you, hey, come, look, I got a girl for you. He doesn't say, hey, come, listen, I got this tens for you. He doesn't say, hey, listen, have you heard this new trap? Hey, listen, come, I got a cinema ticket for you. He doesn't say these things. But what he says is, he says, yo, let's go eat, bro. Alright, let's go drink, let's get some drinks. Hello, it could be Capra son. K8. Fruit punch. That could be all he's telling you. I say, alright, let's go have a good time today. Let's go chill out. Let's go hang out. And that's all he tells you. Or that's the majority of what he or she tells you. And that's from the worst of friends. Abu Darda said that. Why is it from the worst of friends? Because that person is taking you away from the remembrance of Allah. And that's the foundation of the wrong that will come. Because today he tells you, yo, let's go get a drink. Let's go get some food. Tomorrow's going to say, listen, I've got some girls in the hotel room. Let's go roll. That's what he's going to say tomorrow. That's what he's going to say tomorrow. So you will know who your friend is based on this. Look, when you want to become successful, my brothers and my sisters, you go and align yourself with the best of people, right? And you make sure you keep people around you that are skilled and good at what they do. You want to become good at business, you make sure you befriend businessmen, right? You want to become a doctor, you make sure you got some good medical students or doctors around you. You want to become a good, you want to become strong in the gym, you make sure you got them gym guys around you, right? Makes sense, right? Okay, good. If that's the case, then why is the deen any different? In fact, this is the most important thing. This is your Jannah and your Jahannam, brothers and sisters. It's your hellfire or your paradise. So make sure the people you keep around you are good. Even Allah told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ. Even Allah told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be around good people. The Prophet, is the Prophet not the best? Is the Prophet not the best of people? Why does he need good people? Allah is still saying to him, be around good people. Those who are constantly worshipping me day and night. Make sure those are the people you keep around you. The Prophet is being told this. So how can you tell me, listen, I'm good, my people are okay, they don't influence me? Allah said, the Prophet, you keep good people around you. How me and you are different. Does that make sense? And wallahi, brothers and sisters, you'll be honored in this life and the next if you have good friends. You'll be honored. In Surah Al-Kahf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned the story of the youngsters. Young like all of you. What were they doing? They were practicing their religion. They were trying to be on deen. But the king was trying to force them to become disbelievers. So they left. They left and they found refuge in a cave. And why did they do this? So they could just practice their religion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He told us in the surah that they had a dog. Allah mentioned how many they were and their dog. And we don't know anything about the dog, other than the fact that the dog was dead. He mentioned their dog, and that's it. We don't know the color of the dog. We don't know the breed of the dog. Was he a guide dog or a guard dog or a sheep dog? Like, what was the dog's job? Was the dog with them? Did the dog meet them? Like, we don't know. The dog was just mentioned, and there was a dog. But that's confusing, because we know whenever Allah, He mentions something in the Quran, there's always a reason. There's not one harf, not one letter in the Quran, except that it's needed. And it brings a new meaning or benefit. It brings a benefit. That if it was taken away, it would take away from the meaning that Allah intended. So Allah doesn't mention facts for no reason. Like, me and you might just be talking, yeah bro, I was going down the street and, like, you know, you might mention a bunch of facts, and those facts are irrelevant. But that's me and you. But Allah, when He mentions something, He mentions it and His basis behind it. So the scholars are like, but what's the basis of the dog? What do we benefit from knowing there was a dog? What's the story there? What do I take from that? And then the scholars, they mention the reason why Allah mentioned there was a dog. The reason the dog was mentioned was for no other reason except because the dog was with these righteous young kids. So because the dog was with these righteous kids who were so righteous that the dog now deserved to get mentioned. So Allah mentioned the presence of the dog for no other reason except because of the friends of the dog. So you'll be raised and you'll be honored even if you are low, but your friends are high. Even if you are low, even if you ain't done too much, you might not be that righteous. You might not be that knowledgeable. You might not pray like he prays. You might not fast like he fasts. You might not give charity like he gives charity. You might still sin every now and again here and there, but this person's righteous. But the fact that you're with that person, you'll be honored and raised the way that the dog was honored and raised. And his name was mentioned by Allah. Allah, dog. Low. Like, a dog touch you, what? Got to change your clothes now, or wash them. You can't pray. Dog come lick you. That's it. You need to go to your door, bro. Wash it off and get clean. That's not really a very honorable animal, right? Like in Allah, He mentioned the dog. Allah, the King of Kings, in His Quran, mentioned the dog onto His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we recite it every week on Friday, right? And we mentioned the story of and then we just mentioned, and it was a dog, and his dog is being honored. Why? Because he had good friends. That's Allah's sunnah. That's the way Allah does things. If you're around good people, even if you come short and you're not on their level, you're going to get mentioned with them. And there's many examples like that. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to him a man came, as narrated by Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. A man came to him and he said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Ya Rasulullah, he said, when is the hour? He said, when is the hour, O Messenger of Allah? When is the day of judgment going to come? When is the day of judgment? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, مَا أَعْدَدْتَ لَهَا. What have you prepared for it? Why are you asking when is the day of judgment? Is that a relevant question? When is the day of judgment? Rather, a better question is, what are you going to do when the day comes? Because that day is coming. Regardless of when it is, it's going to come. What counts is not when it comes, it's what have you got on the day when it comes. Are you ready for it? What have you prepared for it? And the man, he responded, he said, مَا أَعْدَدْتُ لَهَا مِنْ كَثِيرٍ صَلَاةٍ وَلَا صَوْمٍ وَلَا صَدَقَةٍ. He said, I've not prepared much for that day, O Messenger of Allah. I don't have much prayers, and I don't have much fasting, and I haven't given much charity. I don't have much for that day, O Messenger of Allah. But he said, I have one thing that I did prepare for that day, and that is that I love Allah and I love His Messenger. I love Allah and I love His Messenger. That's what I have on that day. And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Anta ma'a man ahbabt. You will be with the ones that you love. You will be with the ones that you love. So what do you take from the hadith? This man, he didn't do much. He didn't do much. But he was a companion of the Prophet. And he loved the Prophet. And because of his love for the Prophet and his companionship of the Prophet, he's going to be with the Prophet on the Day of Judgment. On the Day of Judgment, in Jannah, inshallah, he's going to be with the Prophet. Even though he didn't do what the Prophet did, just the fact that he loves him is enough. And what does it mean to love the Prophet, by the way? Because some of you are going to be like, yeah, well, I love the Prophet, that means I'm sorted, right? Loving the Prophet means you follow him. Allah said, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ. Allah said, say to them, Muhammad, they claim to love Allah. You really love Allah? Okay, here's the test. فَاتَّبِعُونِ, follow the Prophet. يُحْبِبُكُمُ اللَّهِ, then Allah will love you. Allah will not love you, and you do not love Allah, unless you follow the Prophet. So follow the Prophet, follow his sunnah, learn his sunnah. Follow and walk that path, my brothers and sisters. That's a proof that you love the Prophet now. And if you love the Prophet, you're going to be with the Prophet, inshallah ta'ala. Another example. The hadith is in Al-Bukhari, Muslim. It was said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's a man, he loves the people. There's a man and he loves a particular group of people. But he hasn't been able to achieve what these people have achieved. Like for example, there's a man, he loves the scholars. He loves the scholars. But he himself is not a scholar. He's not able to fast and worship Allah the way they do. And he's not able to read the books that they've got. And he's not able to give da'wah the way they give da'wah. But he loves them. There's a man, he hasn't memorized Quran. He hasn't been able to memorize it. But like he loves the people of Quran. He's always listening to it. He's always trying to learn Quran. He's falling short. He's not at their level, but he always wants to be with them. He wants to be in their company. He loves them. The people of Khayr, the people of Deen, he loves them. He wants to always be with them. But he didn't reach their level, Ya Rasulullah. So what's going to happen to him on the Day of Judgment? What's going to happen? Is he going to be judged on what he's on? And his friends are going to leave him and go to a high place in Jannah? And the Prophet said, Al-mar'u ma'a man ahab. A man is going to be, a woman is going to be with the ones that they love. You will be with the one you love. Who do you love? And some of you might say, well, I thought we were talking about friendship and now you're talking about love. They're linked. The reason I'm talking about them is that they're linked. You don't love someone unless they're your friend. Huh? You don't love a person unless they are your friend in the first place. So who do you love? If I be honest with you, majority of us, we can't say we love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam the way he deserves to be loved. Because you know what would be a proof? You know how we can test right now? We can test right now if we really love the Prophet the way he deserves to be loved. We can test it right now. Let me ask you a question. Would you be willing to sacrifice your mum, your dad, or your children, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband? Would you be able to sacrifice your loved ones if you were told, listen, the Prophet ﷺ is about to come and you'll be able to see him once in your life, but you have to sacrifice everyone you love? Would you be willing to make that sacrifice? If you do, then you love the Prophet. But if you can't, then you love them more. Because a person who really loves someone, they're blinded now. They're blinded to mum, dad, auntie, uncle, husband, daughter, wife. Everyone can go. Everyone can drop. Everyone can die. I can lose all of them. But the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if I get to lay my eyes on him, that's it. It's worth it. And no one's saying that you're going to be in a position where you have to sacrifice your parents or your kids or anything like that. But that's the feeling. It should be there in your heart. That if I need to drop my mom, my dad, my kids, I'll do it for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the reality is that when I said that, most of you, well, on real talk, I'm not really there yet. And that's a problem because you need to be there. Because the Prophet ﷺ told us that our iman and our faith, our belief will be deficient until we love the Prophet more than we love our mum and our dad, وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ, and all of the people put together. And only then you will trace the sweetness of iman. Only then you'll get to a point where you can say, listen, I'm be with the Prophet ﷺ on the Day of Judgment. Don't be depressed if you're not there yet. Because one of the first times the Prophet asked this question to Umar ibn Khattab, even Umar wasn't there. The Prophet asked Umar, he told him that the Prophet has to be more beloved to him than anyone else. And Umar looked at the Prophet and he said, Ya Rasulullah, he said, you're beloved to me more than anyone else, even my mom and my dad. But the only person I love more than you is myself. One honest answer. One honest thing to say. He said, listen, Ya Rasulullah, I'm with you. I really, like, mom, dad, everyone can go. But I love myself more than I love you. Like, it's myself, it's me. I put myself first, right? And the Prophet said to Umar, you have to love me more than even your own self. The Prophet said something to that effect, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to show you that no one comes before the Prophet, not even you. So Umar wasn't fully there. Then Umar said, Ya Rasulullah, he said, from now, you're more beloved to me than even my own self. Now he had the iman to do it on the spot. It might take you a bit more than a day. The point is you need to get there ASAP before you die. And how do you do that? Surround yourself with the people who are on the sunnah of the Prophet. The people who are going to tell you the Prophet's hadith. The people who are going to tell you the Prophet said this, the Prophet did that, the Prophet did this, the Prophet did that. You know why? Because they are going to influence you towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They're going to build your love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But right now, some of you will go a day and not a single person will say to you, oh, the Prophet did this, the Prophet did that. Wallahi, me personally, thinking of that is depressing. I actually don't know how some people live a whole day and the whole day they will never hear, oh, the Prophet did this, the Prophet did that. What an empty day. What a dark day. What dark people that you have around you. The whole day will go by and they will not tell you about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How do you expect to love him sallallahu alaihi wasallam? How do you expect to be a person who's going to be with those whom he loves? When 100% the ones around you are telling you about what? Ronaldo and this Messi and all these other guys. And they're kuffar, mushrikeen, people of shirk, people of fisq and fasad, people of evil and corruption. And all day you're being told about them, but you're not being told about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We end inshallah ta'ala with the ayat from the Quran, Surah Al-Furqan, where Allah describes the affair of the one on the Day of Judgment who had bad friends. The one who had bad friends on the Day of Judgment, what's he going to be like? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَيَوْمَ يَعُضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. Allah said on the Day of Judgment, the oppressor, the zalim, the criminal, the wrongdoer, he will what? He will put his hand in his mouth. He will bite his hand. You know when a person's depressed or a person's stressed, person's going, not depressed, person's stressed or going through a hard time, what do? They bite their nails, right? Yeah? We'll do that, right? This person on the Day of Judgment he's going to be in such a state of loss, such a destruction, because he's going hellfire now. What does he do? يَوْمَ يَعُضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. He will take both of his hands and he will put them in his mouth. Not his fingers. He will fit both of his hands into his mouth. His hands will go in his mouth and bite them. And it was mentioned, I think, either in Tafsir al-Baghawi, Qurtubi ibn Kathir, I can't remember which one, because I was reading all three of them when I was driving up today. And they mentioned in one of them, it was a riwayah that mentioned that a person, when he bites his hand, puts it in his mouth, he'll actually start eating his hand all the way to his elbows. He'll go in all the way to his elbows, he'll put it in. Why? Because he's so scared, he's so stressed, he's in such a dark state, because he knows he's about to burn in the hellfire. He's eating his own hand. He's eating his own hand. Why is he eating his own hand? Yaqul, he will tell you why. He will say, Ya laytani, woe unto me, attakhadtu if only I took مع الرسول سبيلا, if only I took the path to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if only I took a path that was going to take me to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, Ya waylata, destruction to me. He's saying, let me be destroyed. Allah destroy me today. Why is he asking for destruction? Because in the hellfire he's going to be burned over and over again. His skin is going to burn. Then he's going to be given more skin so he can feel the pain again. Then his skin will burn and he'll feel the pain again because the skin will be returned every time. And this will happen not for one day, not for 2 days, not for 1 year, not for 40 years, not for 100 years, not for 1 billion years, not for 1 trillion years, not for any restricted period of time. This will happen for eternity. He's going to get destroyed in the fire. He's going to get ripped apart. His face will burn off. His lip will fall. He'll drink from rivers of pus. He'll be destroyed and humiliated. So he's saying, Allah, destroy me. Destroy me. I don't want to live. I don't want to feel that punishment on that day. Laytani. Woe to me, he says. Why? He realized this is the point now. Why is all this happening to him? Why is he an oppressor? Why is he biting his hands? Why is he regretting? Why is he screaming? Why is he going hell? Why is he biting his hands and now asking for destruction? He said, if only I hadn't taken this person as my best friend. He said, the reason this is all happening to me is because I took him as a friend. Whether he was a friend in real life, or he was a friend on social media, a friend on YouTube that you followed. What he said, لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي عَنِ الذِّكْرِ. Certainly he diverted me from the Quran, the dhikr. Some of you, who brought you here? Put your hand up if someone told you to come here. Put your hand up if you didn't come here by your own accord, but someone told you, hey, come here. Put your hand up. Whoever told you to come here, that's a good friend. He's not diverting you from the Quran. He's telling you, go to it. There are some of you who didn't come today, and they'll never come. Because they got friends that told them, hey, let's go do something else. And some of you might have been wanting to come, and you came, and you had people trying to tell you, let's go do something else. You even told them, I'm going to Masjid. I tell you, let's do something else. That person is a bad friend. That's a bad friend. Stay away from that kind of a person. Everything we do today has a consequence on the day of judgment. The same way whatever I drop, it will come down. Whatever I sow today, I'll reap its fruits on the day of judgment. Who are your friends, brothers and sisters? Look at your calling list. Go to your WhatsApp. Look at the top 10 messages. Do it now. Open your WhatsApp. Look at the top 10 messages. Who are they? Who are they? Go to your YouTube, your subscribe list. Go to your phone calls. Look at the top 10 people that you called. That's who you are. These people, your top 10 phone calls. Those are your people. That's you. If he's a drug dealer, you're a drug dealer. Even if you're not selling drugs, you're a drug dealer. If he's a musician, you're a musician. If he's a womanizer, or she's a loose girl, you're a loose girl, even if you're not. I remember one time, we were in West London, and there was a sister who was in jilbab, and she was walking with 2 girls who were dressed very inappropriately. I remember Ustad Abdurrahman, he stopped me and he said, there's this girl in jilbab is not walking with these 2 girls, except that there's something in her heart that loves what they're on. It's true. There's a difference when you're going to give da'wah to someone. I go to give da'wah, I speak to, I chat to, then I keep it moving. But when you're chilling, she was holding hands, walking down the street, like, listen, we are the best of friends. There's a reason. You only roll with a person like that if there's something in your heart like that. And sometimes, pay attention, you might find a girl who might be doing haram. She might have a boyfriend. She might listen to music. You might have a guy, maybe one of you guys, who might do drugs, sell drugs, buy drugs, listen to music, hang around in gangs, but you like to be in the company of righteous people. That's actually indicative of the fact that there's something beautiful in your heart. So magnify that, exploit that, and let that in you just run wild and befriend these people wholeheartedly. أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضِ. Do you believe in some of the book and disbelieve in the rest? You can't live a double life. You can't be doing some of the things of the deen or liking some of the things and not the others. Some of you are just always on that line. You've just been trying to, I know brothers that have been trying to make that change for like 4 or 5 years, but it's just, they're scared to jump over the fence and just give themselves to Allah completely. Brother, today just give yourself to Allah. If you're a sister, you're struggling, shall I wear hijab, shall I not, shall I stop wearing makeup, shall I not? Just do it, man. If you're a brother, you're thinking, shall I leave my girlfriend, shall I dump her, shall I leave the music, shall I just delete it? Just make that decision today, just jump the fence today. You know why? Because tomorrow might not ever come. How many people have I buried? Kids. Like you guys, in the last couple of years. I buried enough youngsters. They all thought tomorrow will come, but tomorrow never came. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت استغفرك
إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نضرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون